Oh, hello there. Yes. Well, good grief. I suppose we should have seen it coming, what with those leaks before the budget, etc. And yeah, Rachel Reeves deciding to not have the gorgeous and pouting Dominic Lawson up in her office, but instead a less than gorgeous and certainly not pouting founder of the Communist Party of Great Britain instead. What a giveaway, eh? Yeah. Still, deciding to have a real go at the kulaks and establishing Soviets in every workplace strikes me as, well, quite a bold move on behalf of the Labour Party. Anyway, that certainly seems to be the way that the mainstream and less than mainstream press are presenting it, of course, because it's dreaded socialism. Because whenever you put taxes up on people that are enormously wealthy, it's always a very bad thing. It's always a sure sign that the economy is going to crash, as indeed it hasn't recently. Anyway, moving on from that particular one, my eye was drawn, as it often is drawn, yes, by Kelvin Mackenzie, someone that's well worth following on Twitter. Don't really like his opinions at all, or the man at all, or anything about him, but he knows the business. Anyway, I was drawn to this. To save the business, talk radio presenters are either being laid off or having their pay cut. The station's weekend shows are being merged with TalkSport. Okay, that was why Andre, boo hiss, Andre got his marching orders a few days ago, if you recall. Yeah, one presenter is on 750k with 8 weeks holiday. That'll be Piers, won't it? And then, let's dive in here, and another boasts of earning 500k. Now, you do have to say, I wonder who the other big name at the station is, Julia Hartley-Brewer. I don't really know. It could be almost anyone, Julia Hartley-Brewer, but I don't know. I'd have to guess at Julia Hartley-Brewer, I would imagine. So, when you see her over the next few days, particularly in print, complaining bitterly about the enormous cost on ordinary people, and no doubt herself in terms of boo hiss, they're going to put VAT on private schools and my poor daughter, blah, 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 you might want to bear that in mind. A lot of these people that write these pieces about how ordinary they are and how they're so much in contact with ordinary people and ordinary, really aren't, and have a very vested interest, like so many other rich people, in paying no tax whatsoever. Why should they? After all, it's their money, certainly not ours at all. Yes, anyway, moving down the scale of humanity, and I'm using that phrase very lightly, we do definitely arrive with the two contenders for the Conservative Party leadership. Who cares? Yes, I know. Which one of them is going to be worse? I don't know. One of them's a vacuous robot, and the other one's a non-vacuous robot. Hard to say, really, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, they seem both of them very, very keen on the idea of prejudicing the Southport attackers trial, even though they keep being told, look, if you keep banging on about this, there's a good chance it'll be a mistrial, but that won't stop them. And we had Jenrick going into the labyrinthine world of the new right, if I can put it as politely as that, politics, by being interviewed by Dan Wootton. Why? Who knows? Maybe he was trying to do a sort of Joe Rogan thing. Incidentally, Joe Rogan appears to be very, very upset that the Vice President of the United States, a woman who may well become President of the United States, hasn't put time in her busy schedule to rush off to him. We know who's important there, Joe, don't we? We certainly know how important Dan is and that enormous following he must have. I don't know. I've never met anyone that actually thinks that Dan Wootton is anything other than a slime ball. Any of you out there that actually like the guy on any form, level whatsoever? Anyway, yes, so there he is, yes. Not content with, horrendously sensible plans like deporting 1 million people, then he's just banging on about the way that various people were radicalised. But logically, if you think about it, the bloke, if he was radicalised at all, then had to have been radicalised under one of the 3 recent Conservative Prime Ministers. Surely the fault lies there. But obviously not, because now we have a Labour government in and we can just blame everything about them because the past didn't happen. Yes, there was no history before October the 7th, and there was no history before July 24 as well. Okay, that's when time started. So Robert Jenrick, a man with not a good track history in immigration, can safely suggest all of those things that he was unable to do when he possibly was in government, but I don't remember because I don't remember. Anyway, finally, quite early in the new year. Yeah, you know the nights are drawing in when you get the poppy fascists out, and the Mail, the Mirror, and here the Express were full on ranting about somebody who hadn't worn their poppy early enough, and they'd managed to find somebody on Twitter that had commented they'd turned off the show. Yes, and it helps, of course, that it's someone in the BBC who said quite clearly that they will wear a poppy, but they just didn't want to do it a couple of days ago. The swines that they are. Yes, anyway, I imagine we can expect a great deal more of this frothing and bubbling at the appalling state of communist Britain under the heel of the vicious junta cadre of Starmerites or something. Yes. Anyway, of course, for the rest of us, it'll just be business as usual. We'll sit here as the downtrodden workers and be told over and over again that the chocolate ration has recently increased. Yes, see if you can spot that particular one. Do have a lovely day, don't you? It's going to be another dry one, astoundingly. So, I'm sort of heading into gonna have a nice weekend. Yeah, out with friends, meal or two, possibly even three. Ooh, yes. Do have a lovely one. Enjoy. Whilst you can, of course.